Hello, party people. On this very sunny Monday afternoon in Toronto, I am enjoying some time with one of my cats, hanging out, reading a book, getting settled in to get some writing done, and I felt inspired to record a short little episode for y'all in this podcast called Secrets of a Witch, where I talk about life, love, spirituality, magic, witchcraft, and everything in between. If you don't know me, I'm Sabrina Scott. I've been a practicing witchy person for more than 20 years. And this is actually my life's work, believe it or not. This is what I do for my job, for my career. This is what I spend all my time doing. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of it all. And what I wanted to talk about today is when things don't go quite the way you want them to. Which happens to all of us at some point, right? Like we might get rejected. We might hear no. Things might not work out. We don't get the job, but the person we're crushing on doesn't really like us that much. Someone that we thought was really awesome turns out to disappoint us and just be sketchy instead of cool. I think we've all had these experiences, at least I know I have over the years. And whatever form they take, it's basically all different versions of no, right? Whether someone actually says no to your face or whether someone just isn't what you thought they were, either way, it's a no. Whether that's a no from them towards you or a no from you towards that person, that situation that you thought was cool, that is actually not that great after all. So how I tend to move through these moments is to think of a no, N-O, as just standing for next opportunity. And no means next opportunity. It's that simple. And so when we learn to reorient our brains, right, and see a rejection or being disappointed in somebody as just a divine redirection to something better, it all becomes a lot less depressing, and it becomes a lot less about us being bad or unlucky or whatever. And so I do think it is always so important to lean into that reframe, no matter how many of our hopes and dreams and projections and fantasies we're resting on that thing that is no longer for us. Whether that's a person or an opportunity or whatever. So I'll give a few examples. I know that we've all dated someone that at first seemed great, but after a few more things were revealed, it was like, oh shit, well that's disappointing. Oh, that person just wanted me for hookups. Or, wow, that person put on a really amazing face for a few months and then turned out to be totally shady or just not as put together as we thought they might be. Or this actually happened to me last month. So I applied to table at a big comics festival, which I know and love, and I was rejected. And I actually didn't post that on Instagram because I was like, oh my God, whatever. But it's true. And my pitch was, hey, if you guys let me in, I will be hustling to get my next graphic novel illustrated by the time the festival hits in April or May or something. And I got a big fat NO from the people, which sucks because like I know them personally, so no nepotism apparently, so good for them. And I could have chosen to feel depressed about that. I could have chosen to feel rejected, which I literally was rejected. I could have chosen to feel, oh my God, my art isn't good enough. Oh my God, they don't think my graphic novel is good or sexy, or they're rejecting me as a comic book artist. They're rejecting me as an artist, as a writer, as a creator. They don't see me as an artist anymore because now I'm a spiritual teacher, even though we all know I'm all of the things, as many of us are all of the things. And so I could have like spiraled, right, into like an abyss of depression and been like, oh my God, no. But instead of falling into that vortex of shit and being like, oh my God, I'm so bad, I suck, I chose to be like, oh, okay, a no just means next opportunity. What will I be working on instead during these next few months? What project will I be hustling on instead now that I can do that one later? What project do I really want to work on? And so what I've decided to do instead is to just finish writing my PhD by that time, which, to be honest, is a project that has been in the works a lot longer than that other graphic novel. And so in many ways, it actually makes a lot more sense for the universe to redirect me from working on the graphic novel to actually finishing this funny thing called a PhD, which I probably should have finished a few years ago. And so what the universe has done by handing me that rejection slip was to just realign me to somewhere that is actually better suited for me at this time. And if I'm being honest, yeah, it was a bit of a bummer at first, but I was able to switch my mindset pretty much immediately and to think about, okay, so that door is closed. What else can I do? What do I want to do instead? What project feels better for me to work on right now? What feels more aligned, actually? And I do know in my heart and soul and full being that that PhD project does need to sing its way out of my fingertips and into my laptop, into the Word document to actually get that baby done. And it does involve art, and it does involve drawing, and it does involve poetry. So it's kind of weird that I've been procrastinating on it for quite so long. And so that realignment, that no, allowed me to make space for a realignment into that next opportunity, which was what I really probably should be working on. And so, how does that relate to you? So maybe you get that no from that job application, but it could be that no is a blessing. Maybe the person that you're crushing on rejects you, or you realize the person that you're crushing on, is not who you thought they were. That's a no, a big fat NO. And so it's okay to feel those feelings for a minute or two if you need to. Absolutely. Mourn it if you feel the need. If you feel like you have something to shake out, then do it. Shake the vibes out. Cry, take a bath, whatever. But ultimately, rejection is the universe's protection. And no does mean next opportunity. And so oftentimes what we think we want is not actually what's best for us. Right? Think about it. Oftentimes we can have more than what we think we want or need. Maybe I'll actually enjoy working on this PhD writing project way more than that graphic novel that I thought I was going to be doing right now. Maybe I'll enjoy working on that graphic novel at a more leisurely pace at a different time of year. Since it's about ancestors, it kind of makes more sense to work on that in the fall when the vibes are more deathy with all the leaves drying out and dying and falling off the trees. That's actually a much better time of year to lean into ancestor-based reflection. And so the universe has shook me up into realignment. And I'm sure if you pay attention to your life, the universe is doing the exact same thing for you. No matter how unpleasant it sometimes can be. Like, we think we know what's best for us, but sometimes we really don't. It's just a part of this beautiful dance called life, being open to redirection and deciding to see that rejection and that no, whether it comes from us or from someone else, as a good thing. Because it is. So it's always a good idea to keep moving, keep flowing, and be open to what's next, even if it's not what you thought you would have or get or feel or be or experience. So I'll leave you with that today, my friends. Short little episode. Thank you all for listening, as always. I appreciate you coming with me on this new journey into podcast land. And if you're curious to learn more about me and what I do, you can check out sabrinamscott.com. Check out my clothing line at shopsabrinamscott.com. And you can also register for my brand new masterclass on love, sex, and tarot, which I'm teaching this Saturday, the 18th of February. So you can learn how to decode what all went down with your Valentine's Day, if anything. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. Be well.